Like a BMW 745.
Yeah.
It's a
Or like
luxury sedan.
fucking what are those other BMW?
Or Cadillac
Yeah.
CTS.
I'm trying to remember if what Alicia had been considered kind of, but that was like a crossover.
Or technically a Toyota Avalon is like a luxury Toyota, but the was it the Lexus LX 350?
Yeah.
Maybe. Double check that. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
How do you deal with negativity?
How do I deal with negativity?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, before medication, I would definitely take it to heart and fucking beat myself up.
So you're saying you deal with negativity with medication?
Yeah. Well, you have to understand that it's like the way that I process things is different now.
Right.
I haven't been depressed. So, like, I've had moments of being sad. I guess, like, if something happened, like when I lost my water bottle, I kind of beat myself up. And when I lost my phone, obviously I cried because I was, like, upset in the moment and drunk. But like, after that, like, I didn't really think about, you know, once it was done, like, it was like, okay, I didn't think about it. But negativity, I guess, I don't know, like that lady at work that likes to come at me, or I feel that she comes at me, but it seems like that's just her thing. I'm just like, whatever. I don't dwell on it.
What about negativity from like the general public? Like not your friends, but like people who see your stuff and comment on it?
I don't know. Nobody's really negative towards me. I kind of find it already there. I'm not active. I mean, I post stuff online, but I'm not active on like social stuff like I used to be.
So what you're saying is anonymity.
I suppose. Selectivity? Yeah. I'm trying to think of like a negative situation I found.
Fair enough.
I work really hard I mean, you can't control everyone, but I work really hard not to get into situations where I feel that people would like think negatively of me. And most of the people that I think, I guess, do think negatively of me now, I don't really care about.
Yeah, there you go.
But, you know, that's what happens when you, like, weed down from 800 people on Facebook to, like, 835 or whatever.
I have more friends than you on Facebook now?
Maybe.
That's wild.
Let me see.
That's wild. Wow.
I have 395 friends. And a couple of those are duplicate profiles that people created because they were getting zucked.
I remember. That's funny. I remember when I first met you, and you had like 400 or 500 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fucking insane. Like, how can you have that many people? Like, I don't even understand that.
I just had people.
Like,
I've kind of weeded it down to like family, friends, close acquaintances, people that I genuinely enjoy, people who interact with me.
I have 581.
Yeah.
I have more friends than you.
Well,
which is ironic because I have gone the exact opposite route. I'm making more like industry connections.
But you're trying to reach people for stuff.
That's true. That's true.
I'm not. And this is why, like, I mean, besides just MLM aside, I know for sure that I would probably not be good at MLM stuff, because if you're doing stuff that's MLM, you are essentially obligated to keep connections open, because anybody could potentially be a sale, and with MLM specifically, regardless of what anybody tells you, the people are your product to a degree, I guess, or your
that is factual of every industry. The people are your product in every industry.
Well, no, because it's the difference of, you know, like, granted, there, you know, our company is salespeople, and the salespeople have to contact companies to buy stuff from them, so there is marketing in that. But like, I don't have to go home and start friending everyone and their cousin to be like, buy a garage door opener. And then for every garage door opener that I sell,
Man, that
I
would be
get
terrible.
like 5%. You know, I'm like, when you're in sales, you get commissions sometimes, and you
Right.
get, you know, bonuses or whatever for meeting things. But at the end of the day, you can maybe, in theory, like, if you turn your computer off, you're done. You don't have to go try to friend everybody to get like sign-on bonuses for them, and then, you know, meeting, you know, whatever.
Thank God I'm a shameless self-promoter.
And this is why I, you know, a lot of people that do MLM stuff, I notice too, are kind of, they don't often say what they think about important things, because you don't want to alienate a potential customer.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. You just kind of keep neutral.
Keep it positive. Yeah,
keep
either neutral or positive. And I can't tell you how many
grossly positive.
Yeah, and I can't tell you, you know, you always see these people that when they're in the thick of it and they've put all this money into it and they're trying to recruit people, that they talk about, oh my gosh, this thing changed my life and blah, blah, blah. And I won't say that it hasn't for some people. It's just those are kind of, to a degree, exceptions to the rule for various reasons. It could either be that because, you know, they are in a way a pyramid. Maybe you don't call them a pyramid scheme, but they definitely have a pyramid way of working. You know, that it's like, it could be either it could be is a combination of timing and luck, and, well, the luck might be a little bit less. Like, they kind of, I can't say one's more important than the other, but it is a combination of timing and luck, and maybe like your reach and how much work you're putting into it. So, you know, I can't tell you, I know so many people that used to be selling stuff that aren't anymore. And when they first talk about it, they go, oh my gosh, this thing changed my life. I can't believe it. It's the most amazing thing ever. Take control of your life and your finances, become your own boss.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. And they talk about, oh, you know, I got this and I got that and I got whatever. And then maybe not even 5 years later, they're not doing it anymore. And you never see them talk about, oh, I finally quit because I realized that I was, in fact, like, working more than I thought I would, because I had to answer questions all the time, or I had to go to these things all the time, and I had to keep buying product to keep in stock to get people.
It's ironically like it's like a baby's first business model. Like, it's the taste of entrepreneurship without actually, like, yeah, you're gonna have some people are gonna buy in like a couple grand or whatever for products, but you're not putting down you're not pulling out a $20,000 loan to open a business,
right?
Like to rent a space for a year or whatever. Like, you're not doing this massive thing, because people that do that are aware of those things that the people who put in $2,000 and 6 months later or a year later,
right,
find out, like, holy shit, I'm working 20 hours a day, like, doing all this work. Whereas, like, that's what entrepreneurship is. Like, when you're doing a business, when you are the business. Like, you have no choice but to hustle and to fucking make connections. And, like, if let's say you're an artist, like, you're drawing, I don't know, 7 hours a day, you got to put 3 hours to social media. Otherwise, all that work's not going to fucking matter.
Right.
Because then who's gonna call you? Who's gonna message you for commissions if they can't see your work?
Yeah.
So you gotta make the thing, you gotta promote the thing, and then when they contact you, you gotta negotiate, because they're gonna be like, exposure.
Right.
Like, so there's this whole thing, and that's weirdly, like, being on TikTok, I've found so many people that happens to them, and they're not artists like the way you would think so. So, like, actors, videographers, like, because I've heard that from people who draw. Because people will be like, hey, draw me something. Or like people who do Photoshop, like, hey, can you fix this photo for me? Like, I'll tell people about you. And that expands to so many fucking things. And I didn't realize it. Like, people try to just fucking undermine people's talent and skill.
And there's, you know, there are appropriate ways to go about it, where you trade, like, time for talent or whatever. There's some other name for it, maybe. But, like, A told me, you know, because she's a model, she said that she's done it where she will come and model stuff and maybe get, like, a discounted rate or even free on some photography. But at the same time, her stuff's being pushed out by, like, her company or whatever she's working with might be like a bigger name brand. So she'll be like, hey, I want to do, like, I saw you're in town, I want to do a photo shoot. I want to wear like these designer brands. Like, what can we, do?
Yeah,
and so
and
sometimes they'll be like, oh yeah, like I'll do it and I'll give you like an hour of my time, but you're only getting 5 pictures and you have to make sure that you credit me and you have to whatever.
and that makes perfect sense. That's like a collaboration more than anything. But I'm talking about the layman, like the fucking down the street person who's like, draw me a portrait of my fucking 5-year-old kid so I can give it to them for their birthday. But like I'll tell my other parents like that I know to contact you. I don't have the money to pay you. Why are you asking me?
Yeah.
Like the amount of, because that's why I love that what's the like sound on TikTok. I don't know if you've seen it. Where it's like, it costs that much. It's like a song that someone did. It costs that much because it takes me fucking hours. Yes. Like I love that song because I'm like, yeah, because it costs that much because I fucking said so. Like,
right.
Like it took me years, decades to fucking get this good. Like that's how much it costs.
It also, I think it depends what you can get out of people. It also depends on your comfort level. Because, for example, since I work in the beer industry, which is, an off-brand, like an offshoot of the beverage industry, let's call it.
Right.
Since I work in the beverage industry, my friend, a couple of my friends have always been sort of surprised that I guess I don't want to say that they're surprised I don't leverage it, but they're surprised I don't talk about it more. And especially when we go to other breweries, they're like, oh, like, why don't you, if you tell them, they'll usually like give you a this or a that. And they will, because I think they know what it's like and they see you and respect you and want to give you something. And if they come around, I would do the same for them. But if it comes up organically, then cool. But I never go into a place and I'm like, I work for this place.
Right.
And I do this thing.
Well, it's because you're respectful.
Now, as for me, holy shit, I just realized that was on Narrow. I really hope it caught her. Damn, I'm gonna feel bad. Anyway, as for me, I deal with negativity typically by ignoring it. Just kind of moving along. And then probably repressing it and then having to deal with it in therapy. That's my process. I'm gonna go to bed now. See you tomorrow.